Hello and welcome to another video. I have this really nice little book that I wanted to show you today. This is the Centenary edition of the Kybalion by the Three Initiates. And I'm actually not sure, it's Tarcher Peregrine actually, that's who the publisher is. And this is a really nice little book. It's leather-bound. It's vegan leather. It's not real leather, but it has a really nice texture to it. It doesn't feel cheap. Like sometimes you can get these leather-bound books with faux leather, and they just don't feel very high in quality. But this is not the case for this, especially for the price point. I think I only paid maybe I don't remember, but it wasn't too much, maybe like 15 bucks Canadian, $20 Canadian, I think. So it's a good quality book for that price point. Here's a shot of the spine. I will say though that this book nearly gave me a coronary, because the back of it, there was this huge big sticker that just took up the entire back of the book, and we all know how I feel about stickers. I don't know why publishers do that, but nonetheless, this took a lot of time to get the sticker off, because every time I would try to peel it, it would just rip, and then I had it was a mess. It was an absolute mess, but I got it off, and the leather held up really well. You can't really see any damage. I can see it, but the camera doesn't pick it up. But yeah, the old vegan leather really held on to the backboard, or the book board. No separation, so very good. And we have some really nice gold, simple gold end pages. I like the gold and the black, and then the paper is this really nice cream color. I like it when it's a personal preference, I don't know, but I really prefer not a bright white paper, like a creamy color. It kind of, for me anyway, when I'm reading it, the bright white pages kind of in the contrast between the black text, it can make it a little aggressive to read, so I like the muted, softer tones. And there's a contents page. But basically, if you're not familiar with the Kybalion was written by the Three Initiates is a pseudonym for a man by the name of William Walker Atkinson. And I believe this book was published in the early 1900s, 1910 or... Nope, 1908. There we go, 1908. And it is basically a... when The Secret came out, I think it was... When was it? The early 2010s? Was that when it was a big thing? The Secret basically is a watered-down version of this. So basically it's just kind of a philosophy on reality and creating your own reality, and the introduction kind of goes over that basically in these early pages here. So yeah, the Kybalion, I know, has been kind of, I don't want to say controversial, because it's not necessarily controversial, but it's been debated. A lot of people don't like it because they think that, or they believe that it's, watered down and it's not very good. But if you're into this stuff and you're just looking to kind of just get into it a little bit, this was a really fun read. It was written for, it wasn't very complex language. The ideas behind it can be maybe a little bit challenging to get your head around them. But, I mean, it's laid out quite nicely. I don't think that you'd have too many difficulties, but yeah, it kind of talks about the 7 Hermetic principles, which are here. So there's the principle of mentalism. All is the mind, the universe is mental. The principle of correspondence, as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without. The principle of vibration, nothing rests, everything moves, everything vibrates. The principle of polarity, everything is dual, everything has poles, everything has its pair of opposites. The principle of rhythm, everything flows in and out, everything has its tides, all things rise and fall. The principle is cause and effect, every cause has its effect, every effect has its cause, everything happens according to law. And the principle of gender. Gender is in everything. Everything has its masculine and feminine principles. Gender manifests on all planes. And there's also like an unofficial 8th principle, which is the principle of the generative principle, the principle of care. Basically meaning that focused attention and energy fosters growth and manifestation. It kind of like fuels the other 7 principles, which is kind of true. Like if you're trying to manipulate your reality, you can't just think your way into a new reality. You have to have some intention and some action, some care behind it to really kind of push it into this reality. Energy flows where attention goes, right? So makes sense, but that's not really that's just something I've come across in my readings. It's not mentioned in this book at all. At least not directly, maybe indirectly. But yes, that's pretty much this book in a nutshell without going into too much detail. Yeah, it's a lovely little book. I recommend it. It was a nice read. It's a short book. You could probably finish this within an hour. Oh, maybe not an hour, a couple hours. Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, minus the sticker. Maybe it's been quite a few years since I've purchased this book. Maybe the publishing company has changed their marketing material to not have a sticker, hopefully. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this video. Just this quick little video. I thought I'd share this nice little book with you. Let me know if you have any other book recommendations. I always love hearing them. And as always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.